how verbs carry personal endings and not case endings like nouns do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you remember what those persons are? First person.
First person. I, we.
I, we. Second person.
You, your.
You, y'all.
Y'all.
And then third person.
He, she, it.
And then also they.
They. Is them coming?
That'll be more indirect. We'll talk about that later. It, they. So we have first, second, third pronouns. And do you know what a pronoun is?
It takes the place of a noun.
Takes the place of a noun. So in our lovely sentence, the quick brown or red fox, sorry, jumped over the lazy brown dog, right?
Right.
And just for refresher course, what is our subject?
Is a fox.
Fox. Yep. What is our object?
Dog.
Dog. What is our verb?
Jump.
And so subject, verb, object. And then, so now we don't have a pronoun in the sentence, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we also have 4 adjectives, right?
Yes.
Adjective, adjective, adjective. And they're all in the what position?
The the attributive.
Correct. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a comma, which is going to be I'm going to create a dependent clause on this sentence. And conjunction, it was alert. So, it is our pronoun, right? It is replacing what?
The dog.
Well, the noun. So, the noun, it is replacing the noun.
Mm-hmm.
In English and also kind of in Greek, the pronoun is going to have the antecedent in the most in the closest noun. So in the case of it, it's not talking about the fox because it's too far away because we've introduced another noun.
Mm-hmm.
The brown dog was alert. But we've added a comma, a conjunction, and then added the pronoun. So the it is not referring to the fox because of a distance.
Mm-hmm.
It is instead referring to the dog.
Right.
So the it is our pronoun. It's replacing the word dog.
Okay.
And so we also have a to-be verb here. It was alert. And that is what you call a dependent clause, where it's dependent on the sentence that comes before it. One quick second, sorry. So today we're just going to be talking about first and second pronouns. The first, we'll just go ahead and write first and second. And then we're going to write singular up here, and then we're going to write plural down here. First and second. We already know these. We don't need to go through these again. But we know the pronouns. We know how they function. And so just what we're going to find here is that the case of the pronoun is determined by function. In the case of our sentence, we saw it was functioning as the object. It was a dependent clause. So we could say you or ye, and then we can also say we and y'all. Y'all is really nice because it is very clearly plural. You don't have to say that, but you can if you want to. So so far we've been learning a lot of different paradigms, right? Just kind of looking at how they work. Here's another paradigm we're going to learn. And of all the paradigms that we will ever learn in mounts, I want you, there's really only three paradigms that I want you to learn. And I want you to learn them because they're bread and butter. The first one is the article. The second one is pas upon. And then the third one is going to be here tonight. And I just say I want you to learn it because it's so different. We won't worry about the accents on here, but we do need to be aware of them. All right. So just like we've been lining up our paradigm in nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, singular, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, plural. This is going to be the same for all noun type adjective or paradigms. So this one here, this is the first person paradigm. So let's go ahead and work through it. So I is the subject. My or mine, because it's showing possession. To me in the dative, and then in the accusative, it's just going to be me. Now in the got that wrong. In the plural, it's going to be we, ours. Or yours. Actually, this one's going to be ours, not yours. This one's going to be to us, and then us. So you see kind of how the first person pronouns change. But again, we're just lining them up like that. So the second person pronouns are going to be very similar. We're going to have Sue, then we're going to have Sue, but spelled differently. Then we're going to have soy, and then we're going to have se. So what's this one going to be if it's a subject?
You.
You. This one?
Your.
Your.
To you.
To you. Good job on the helper words.
You.
And you. So the second person's doesn't really have a whole lot of different inflections. Well, let's go ahead and do the plural now. Okay, this one?
You.
You. Yep.
Y'all.
We can just do y'all. Y'all too.
Your. You all.
To you.
To you.
To y'all. Kind of get southern down here.
And y'all.
Yep. So this is what we're going to be seeing with this. And so as far as Greek goes, you can see that there's different cases for all of these pronouns. And when I want you to parse, when I say parse this word and it's a pronoun, I want you to say, so if we're doing humon, sorry, these all need rough breathing marks. If I say humon, I want you to say genitive like we've said. I want you to say plural like I've said, or like we've said. Rather than saying gender, because pronouns have no gender, I want you to say
first or second.
Second person. And then what do you think the lexical form is? Just to make it easier, like what we've done, we're going to go to the nominative singular form. So we'll just say ego, for all intents and purposes of this class, is going to be the lexical form of humon.
Even the second singular.
Yep. Some people say it's humes. Some people say it's su. just to make it easier, kind of following the pattern we've done, we'll just say ego is the lexical form. And then so the inflected meaning is also going to be the same. So this one is going to be your, based on the case and number. And so that's what we're going to be seeing here. And parsing is just also very important for us. So we're going to go ahead and do some quick examples, kind of get your feet wet, get used to kind of seeing some of these pronouns. Okay. So I'm going to give you kind of some vocative. We haven't really worked with some vocative, but I'll throw them in here for this one. I feel this is a good time to do vocative. So the vocative is the fifth case we have not talked about, right? One of the first four cases. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and then vocative. Vocative is the case of direct address. We use it in English. We just don't have a case for it. If I were to say, Tony, make sure to bring your books to class on Thursday. That would be me directly addressing you. Greek has a case for it. So the case ending for the vocative is also going to be the subject of the sentence, because it's the subject. It's the mood of direct address. The case ending for it is just going to be a simple epsilon. So you'll see Kyrie from kurios, and this is the same. So this is saying Lord, but it's directly addressing Lord. This one is Lord as the simple subject. So Kyrie, you'll see an epsilon on there. The vocative is so very easy to pick up, you're not even going to be able to miss it. So you'll see that. So there really is to the vocative. So there's not really much there. That's why we haven't really spent a whole lot of time talking about it. But we're going to get some work with this. So accented, so emphatic. All right. So here we're having a possessive pronoun, right? And this is typically how you'll find it. So you won't say Lord my, you will instead say
My Lord.
My Lord.
And my God.
There you go. And how did you know that that was God? Yes. So you can see that the vocative is just very easy to detect. But yeah, so the possessive first-person pronoun, my Lord and my God, and you'll typically see the possessive in this position here. And so the function here, the function of this, or the case of this pronoun is determined by its function. It's showing possession, directly addressing. In this example, Thomas is directly addressing Christ, my Lord and my God. Okay, so that sentence. So now here's another one for you. Aute. You've learned aute, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Have you learned apen?
Yeah, you see what it said.
Okay.
Oh, how it says it.
This is bad Greek, but It's an example. All right. So, Aute, she is our subject.
Said.
Okay, she said, Sue.
You.
Yes. Sorry, I need that there. This is the second plural of Amy, which is, or second singular of Amy.
You are my teacher.
Yes. So in this case here, Sue is second. We would actually parse it nominative, singular, second person. And A, we would actually translate or parse as present, active, indicative, second singular. So Sue and A agree in number and in person. You see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
And then so we have second pronoun, first personal pronoun, possessive, and then we also have the object over here. We're going to see kind of a little bit more of that. And then here's another one for you. This is baptized. All right. So I is what personal pronoun?
First.
Okay. So I baptized Humas is
You.
which is what personal pronoun?
It is plural.
But which pronoun? Which person is it?
It is
Second. But it's second, but it's the accusative. You with or in water, which you should know this word by now. But as you know that word, autos.
Autos is it.
He in this case. This is actually a nominative singular
Oh,
masculine. He, but he.
He baptized you in Spirit.
And the Holy Spirit.
In the Holy Spirit.
This is kind of inferred down here. I didn't actually add it. But that's kind of what you're looking at here.
And then it's holy, the adjective goes before the noun.
Yep, because this is a attributive.
Even though it comes, it's...
No, this is proper form. It just is anarthrous, and it also has the preposition here.
Okay.
It probably would be better if it was te pneumati, or sorry, yeah, to pneumati hagio would probably be a better one. So we can kind of get the gist here of the personal pronouns, right? Give me a fist of 5. 5? All right. So do you have any questions about this at all before I kind of move on to our next thing?
No.
All right. So last week we talked about the third declension and words and the square stops and words kind of changing or working differently based on the stem. So today we're going to talk about words that in the stem end in a tau or delta, and we're given a paradigm here for that. So you'll see that feliz in the nominative singular feminine has the sigma at the end. We jump to the dative and we see a little bit of a change. Why is that? It's because the tau is the stem, and words can't end in a tau or delta. But we see the stem once we decline the word. And then we also see the stem in socia. Socia, and then we're going to see esoncenas. We're going to see something a little bit different here. So because the stem is meeting the tau is going to go away, and you're just going to be left with the sigma, caricine. And then caritas. So what we see here, this is just one example of the third declension nouns that end in a tau or delta. We also see, and I won't give you the full paradigms here, but el pis is really el pidas or el pidos, and then pos and photos. So this is basically knowing that the third declension is going to be the same pattern all throughout. We could just fill in all of these based on what we know of the third declension. And so the third declension is nice because it's a nice set pattern for us. Mm-hmm. There are some words that have irregular endings, but Mounts covers those in chapter 10 and chapter 11. And so those are basically third declension paradigms.